Troy, can you please tell us about your film and how you made it?
Well, firstly, I want to say thank you to the judges and UNIMA and all the other people who entered, and to other UNIMA members and everyone who voted. It's a huge honor to be able to enter this for the first time and to do so well, which I'm very humbled by. I've been wanting to enter this competition for so long. Over the years, but just have never had the time. And I made time this year, and it was a very long process to get that. That took me a month to do. It was a lot of work going into that video, but it was worth every second. From the multiple puppets, which is one of my favorite things on screen. Whenever I watch a puppet production or I create a puppet production, the thing that excites me more is trying to jam as many characters in one scene as possible, even if they're just standing there as background characters. For me, that's the most exciting thing, and what I wanted to do with this. So the main character, I literally, my living room, which is where I produce my videos, was covered in puppets for a month, and it was a little bit crazy. And I wanted to fit as many of my characters into the video as possible. And being for a competition, it's one likes to keep things low budget. So that's why I decided to hand draw all the backgrounds and teach myself very basic animation, which was YouTube tutorials and things like that. So I've never done animation before. I've always hand drawn and had fun with drawing, but never taken it too seriously. So that was a very laborious task, but made it so much more enjoyable to put this together, because I got to essentially learn a new skill, especially with the animation part. The fire you saw, that's just looped drawings, and the talking face on the tree. Just basic animation, but a lot of fun to put together, and just adds something a little bit different to it. The biggest thing back to the characters, each one of those puppets are filmed individually and then laid into a production. Being a one-man band, it's part of the process to learn how do I achieve this and get the most out of it. So filming one puppet at a time, testing it on screen, and going back and either refilming or just being happy with whatever's come out is part of the process. When it comes, I like the topic this year, the climate change topic. I think this is an important message for all of us to be part of and to take seriously. We all know the climate is changing, and personally, I think there's a little bit of drama that's added to it, especially when it comes to our young people. As an uncle of, I've got an 8-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and I watch what they're going through and what they're going through in school. And I watch some of the things they get taught and how they get taught. And whilst I'm not a teacher and will never be, for me, teaching about something as serious as the climate for young people needs to be handled carefully. So I wanted to, when I was putting this script together and the song together, do it in a way that expresses the seriousness of the topic, but done in a way that's not going to cause trauma to younger videos, because with the fun characters, it's essentially for kids. So that's why I brought it back home and tried to make the message about, it's about looking after your area and not worrying about what's happening in the bigger scale of things, because young kids don't need to. They'll get there eventually. They'll worry about the big things eventually, but while they're young, it's like, keep your house clean, keep the local parks clean, look at what you're doing, ride your bike, don't drive a car, sort of thing, sort of message. And decided to go down that one because of what you tend to see in the media and teaching, and so I work in the public area, and I question some of the drama behind a lot of the messaging, and I think it's a nicer way to teach it in a fun way, sort of back to when I was younger and we were taught about things. And that's it. I didn't prepare anything, so I think that's my message. Answer these questions. I'm happy to answer questions.
All the backgrounds.
Yes.
Could you just talk a little bit about those?
Yes, so they're all hand drawn, and they're still sitting here at my desk. I don't know because I've got the blurred background. They're hand drawn backgrounds. Oh, there we go. There's the tree process. So the growing tree, from small to large, as it's growing in the background as they're sort of resolving issues. Hand drawn, scanned into my computer, and then I've taken them into an Adobe program called Illustrator, and then colored the backgrounds, exported as a JPEG, and then laid into my video program, which is After Effects. So it adds to it, but trying to save money instead of paying someone to to do backgrounds or cartoon work or build sets, which I would have worked more favorably for this video type, but for a competition and trying to do this with no budget, I decided to draw, which I sort of think adds to the cuteness of it. It's a little bit more cartoony.
The hand drawing part is really great. I love that.
Thank you.
And I have a technical question.
Yes.
Have you got a remote start for your video, or do you have to set the video going, get into position and start recording, start your little scene?
I have a remote control.
Right.
So my setup is, and I can't turn the camera around, I have a 4K camera that is set up on a tripod above my TV. It's connected into my TV, so I use that as my monitor. Then faces my couch, and I sit on my couch with the puppet in the air and a green screen behind my couch. And while I'm there, the spare hand just presses record, microphone's attached, and off I go.
And Troy, did you have to have the music going the whole song every time to do the song for each character when they were singing together?
Yes, yes. So that's a process, because the song itself, there's 5 characters singing. So I did have help with the doing the music for the song. I have a friend who does music, so we worked on that together. And then so he supplied me the instrumental track, and then I have to sing it in each character's voice and then edit together. And once that's edited together, I put it on my iPhone, and I set the iPhone next to my microphone, and then just lip sync to it.
Have you got a remote for that as well, so that you can start it?
No,
or you just set the music going, run to the couch.
Yeah, just set the music, and there's the songs on loop. So
yep.
And then because it's recorded, it's next to the microphone, so it's recorded. So when I pull the video track, I can align it up to the original song.
So many processes. When you look at any movie, you see the names, just the scrolling down names of people involved. So I gather you didn't have a chauffeur or a stand-in.
No gophers,
or director B on the B site or anything like that. No, it was all
location
Troy.
Managers, and
no.
craft services.
Catering.
Yeah, they were terrible. They were terrible. They forgot to eat some nights. It's like, hold on, what time is it? No stunt doubles either. No
stunt doubles.
And Troy, where were your puppets from?
My puppets are made here in Australia by Jarrod Boutcher, who's in Queensland. We've been working together for years, doing puppets, making puppets and characters, and he is brilliant. He makes the best puppets. They cost a little bit, but they are worth every cent. Some of those puppets, that little frog Nimrod, he would have to be about a decade old now and still in perfect condition.
Very well made.
Yeah.
Troy, can you just talk a little bit about your work that you do with puppets and green screen?
Yeah, look, I have, so during COVID, I've always done puppetry prior to this. I've always done a bit of puppetry and done some online stuff. I've done some some on stage shows, but more adult sort of related shows. And then during COVID, when we all locked down, I started doing a thing called Cameo, which is an app on Apple, and started getting bookings. And that's when I bought myself a 4K camera and a proper setup and lighting, studio lighting, and started doing more green screen.
So by bookings, you mean somebody says, I want you to say with this certain puppet, happy birthday to my husband or something. Is that the sort of thing?
Well,
Yeah,
I've actually booked Troy to do a birthday greeting for a friend of mine in the United States who, like me, is a passionate lover of the Haunted Mansion. And so I booked Troy. Troy made the video, sent me the link. I sent it to my friend in America, and that was his birthday present. So it's a very affordable, no shipping required. It was so easy to do.
And it's not just personal. I was working with corporates as well. So I did a lot of work with Google and Nike and Target and Bank of America and a lot of companies that, you would never, ever expect to work with in your lifetime. And
brilliant.
And there you are. Yeah.
Are you still doing this? You're still doing that, Troy? You're still doing that sort of work?
Yeah, it's not as busy as it used to be full time, but when COVID ended and life started costing more than it did, the discretionary spending stops. So when discretionary spending stops, the fun sort of things you can waste your money on get cut back, which meant I had to go get a real person job, sadly, which is why I had time to do this video, which is nice.
But all that experience you had doing that has lent to your expertise with the film, for example.
Yeah, definitely. Because, when I first started doing videos, it used to take so long to do, like even a 1-minute video. And then I kept refining my processes and go, all right, how can I make this better? How can I do this? And then it's a continual learning process. And the more you learn, the better the outcome. And then you start, it's like, oh, I've seen this done before. What can I do with my limited setup or my experience to achieve this? And that's one of the fun parts about video creation is the continued learning and developing.